So I'm at the end of my first day of dowsing on my annual 1 week away, and I feel really down, and I don't know why. It's bizarre. I think I've found the Templar line coming out of Kromeriz, and it doesn't go to Hosteen. It kind of bends around to the south, and basically the two lines, Merkosh and Perun, kind of run closely parallel together, and it's all gotten a bit sort of tedious, and I'm a bit disappointed, I think. In and around Brynla area and the other side of Brynla, the Templar line is so interesting. It goes to some really interesting places. And this side of Kromeriz, it just seems to almost taper out, which is, well, it doesn't taper out, but I don't know, just in a strange mood, I guess. Anyway, I'm on a hilltop. I'm about to go and look at a cross, and we'll see what I find there. Cheers.
But of course, the gods, the Slavic deities, always have a surprise. And here it is, a chapel in the middle of the forest. Oh boy, was this going to make my day.
See the butterflies? Always butterflies in these places. Always butterflies. See half a dozen butterflies in the last 5 minutes.
You see, having just complained that the Templar line didn't go to Hosteen, this chapel is dedicated to the Lady of Hosteen. Not only that, but the female line passed through it, and it had nice, feminine energies. And so I spent the rest of the evening of the first day sitting in contemplation at this chapel in the forest, marvelling once again how my day had gone from despondency to joy, just like that. And in the distance, as the nightfall arrived and the storms came, Perun made his presence known, lightning and thundering across the skies, just to remind me the gods do exist. The next morning found me much more cheerful, recognizing that I would have to venture on a long hike up into the hills to track the two Templar lines across and through the forest. The first stop was this Hradisko, an old fortress now hidden away in the middle of the forest, rarely visited.
So I'm stood on top of another Hradisko, right at the top of a hill, 500 metres, a bit out of breath. Beautiful place. It's on a line, not sure which line. Being bitten to death here, so I'm going to show you the views and go.
Day 2 found me in much better form. I really enjoyed the hike. Walking alone, contemplating nature, contemplating the nature of my trip through the forest, finding this well also on the female line, was just the icing on the cake. I then headed south to try to find Perun, the male line, and soon did so, numerous times. In fact, I ended up walking back, more or less following the Perun line as it meandered around this river valley and back into the village, towards the chapel that I'd found and had so made my previous evening. It was then that I had an idea. Because by now I realised that there was a node on the two Templar lines pretty close to that chapel, just below it in fact, and the line swapped around so that the female line seemed to follow the high ground unusually, and the Perun male line followed the low ground. This is not usual, but of course the lines had crossed, so why not? But I had an idea.
So yesterday I came despondent to this place, and I found this beautiful small chapel with the female line passing through it, and after working I discovered that the lines crossed here, the male and female lines, but somewhere maybe 50 meters down slope in somebody's backyard, which I could feel the energy, but I couldn't get close to it. And I checked and I checked and I checked. I've been all around, and yes, the lines cross, and there's a node just about 50 meters to the south of me. Well, I came back this morning and I thought to myself, you know, I wonder if the line should cross here. It just feels like they should. So I asked the powers that be, and I came up here and I meditated for a while, and then I stood and asked if the node should be here, that the lines move to be here, and much to my absolute amazement, now I dowse it, the node is here. I think I repaired a node, and the energy has shifted. It now feels absolutely amazing here, and the node that was down there doesn't seem to exist anymore. So if this is the Templar line, and the rods tell me it is, then there's a node here, and I think this is where it belonged, on the site of this small chapel on the hillside. And the powers that be enabled it to be restored, it would seem. So again, I've never done this before, and I'm not sure what actually happened, but as far as I can tell, the node moved about 50 meters. And as I sit here, still checking, double checking to see if it really did happen, can you hear the bees? Or that bee buzzing sound? I can. I didn't hear it before. That's always been something associated with these nodes. A faint buzzing sound. A frequency, maybe. I'm going to play my frequency here, see what happens.
And so I did use the tone generator and play some of the solfeggio frequencies to great effect on this new node on the Templar line, which you can see on this map along with the progress up and over these hills, through the castle or the hill fort and back along the river valley. What a great trip.